Hi guys, it's Tuesday and welcome to Tuesdays with Tiff, and today we're going to talk about some winter sensory solutions for just to give you some ideas at home to be able to do some activities. I know it's gets really hard. It's hard at home a lot of times when the weather's still cold, holidays are over, and you're just kind of like ready for springtime, and all the kids need some outside time, and but sometimes it's not feasible. It's just too cold, too windy. And so here's some ideas just to be able to put some movement into your kiddo's day. Maybe in the morning, it's really helpful to try to get some movement in the morning before school, just to get everybody more regulated and be able to transition into school that day. So one of the things I always tell that's really good with a lot of kids is just getting a mini tramp. You can get them at Walmart or on Amazon pretty cheap, and just like maybe you can always play a song or set a timer, and or get your kiddo to maybe like just clap and do some ABCs to try to get that movement in the morning. Another idea is just nobody wants maybe jumping on it's okay to jump on the bed. It gets you some movement, jumping on the bed onto some pillows or onto a beanbag. Giving them a certain number to go to and just try to get that movement in. A little bit of that in the morning can go a long way to be able to help them have a better day and to get that movement, because it doesn't matter what the season is, kids still need to move, and especially when it's cold out, it's really hard to sometimes get that in. A lot of times kids love pushing heavy things. It gives a lot of proprioceptive input, so just piling some heavy things into a laundry basket and having them push it up and down the hall, it doesn't always even need a purpose. They just like to push, and it's a good way to be able to give them some proprioceptive input that can help them for several hours. That input lasts. Another idea is just playing like the floor is lava, putting out like some couch cushions and having them do some jumping from cushion to cushion or pillow to pillow and make a fun game out of it. And it's pretty simple, and everybody needs to flip a couch cushion sometimes, so that's just a good idea to be able to do that, and the kids think it's super fun. Sometimes just blowing, like playing a game across the table, like with cotton balls, like, kind of like blowing the snowballs or whatever, and that's a really good activity to be able to get some input, and it's really good to kind of build that into their day, and it kind of helps with deep breathing and just proprioceptive input for the mouth, and that helps regulate the whole body. Another thing we talk about is like if you're going to the store or going to the car, and we always have lots to load in and out of the car, make sure your kiddo helps carry their stuff and helps carry some of your stuff. It helps them build the muscle strength, and it's functional and it's helpful, and just chores. And you'd be surprised, a lot of kids like to just do that and be helpful, and they don't always do it the way we want them to do it, but that's the only way they will learn is by helping. And sometimes you just kind of have to show them how to carry stuff, and they'll get it, and they start enjoying getting that input and get stronger in the process. And it's activity. Another thing we can do if your kiddo is small enough is get like in a blanket, and you have another person, and just swinging in a blanket and then crashing into some pillows is a good activity. And of course that only works for smaller kids, but it really is a good activity for a smaller kid. And a lot of people, it's not feasible to put a swing indoors, but it's a good way to be able to get that swinging in. And then here at Sensory World, we try to take advantage of every opportunity, and a lot of times the playground, it is too cold or the weather is not really permissible for us to go out that day. So like you can see, I'm in the hallway right now. We are doing like a weekly, we call it a sensory path. It's more like a motor planning activity to be able to give the kids some proprioceptive input. We have like the little, what we call the infinity walk over there. The kids are really liking that, and they can come over here to this station and spin for some vestibular input. And then after that, we always follow it up with some proprioceptive input, and then they just jump to the letters. So we're changing that every week to make sure it's fun and novel, but at the same time, it's giving them that opportunity to get that movement in, even though they can't always go out to the playground. So another thing I just wanted to mention is a lot of our kids can't tell us these things, but in the winter, because the heater runs more and the air is drier, we have lots of kids that have lots of dry skin issues, and one of the things, and dry sinuses, and they just don't have like the ability to be able to like cough everything up, and everybody's sinuses are a mess. But our kids, they can't tell us, and they don't know what to do. So I always recommend like a humidifier in their bedroom, so they can just get the air a little more humidity in the air to prevent some of those dry sinuses and that dry skin. Or a lot of parents will ask me, like, what do I do? My child doesn't like lotion after a bath. Like, there's some bath oil you can buy or coconut oil, add to their bath so they're automatically getting some of that moisture into their skin. We don't think about that, but it does make you uncomfortable when you have dry skin, and it becomes itchy, and then for a sensory kiddo especially. Another thing, also just increasing their water intake, because this time of year, we don't think about it, but a lot of times kids get dehydrated just being in the cold more. They're not outside running around, not getting as thirsty, and so their natural inclination is maybe not to drink water, so just pushing that, not forgetting that. We have lots of kids that like start licking their lips and then they can't stop, and then you have to fight that battle. So those are just some practical ideas to be able to help you get through the winter. This is always kind of a hard time of year because it's after the holidays and we're moving into spring. But next week we are going to talk about just signs of sensory overstimulation, what that looks like, how to make sure your kiddo can be properly regulated, and how to recognize those signs of overstimulation, and some ways to counteract some of those things, and what's overstimulation and what's just being tired. So thank you for listening, and we will talk to you next week, and hope you have a great week, and be sure and share or post questions, and we'd love to answer those questions for you. Bye-bye.